Well, I'm back from Melbourne, and just in the nick of time too, because it's time for another monthly reset. November and December are going to be busy, so we want to enter the new month cool, calm and collected, or at the very least with a vague idea of what needs to get did. I mean, the first thing that needs to get did is actually get out of bed, so let's go start with that. My least favorite part. Like usual, we're going to start with a physical reset, but not like usual, we're actually going to start in the bedroom instead of the office. Okay, no. Because I just got back from a trip, I figured I'd try this revolutionary idea of actually putting my suitcase away in a timely fashion. Also, all of my dirty laundry's in there, and I need to do it because otherwise I don't have any clothes, so, you know. Normally it would take me weeks to unpack my suitcase, but this time we are doing things a little bit differently and actually getting it done, like, the day after I got home. As part of this step though, I'm putting all of my laundry into my laundry basket, unpacking everything else from the suitcase, putting the suitcase away, and then putting away all of the other bits and pieces. This also involves just tidying my room in general, which isn't too messy at the moment, so that part doesn't take too long. So you can see we still have a couple of collections of things on the bed. This is stuff that I'm wearing today, and the majority of this is stuff that belongs downstairs. So I'm gonna just take everything downstairs in one fell swoop rather than multiple trips. Headband lives up here, it's just in the wrong pile. While I was doing my work over here though, I spotted my water bottle, which I feel is being very neglected. So I'm kind of thinking that I should incorporate drinking water into my monthly reset, because drinking water is not something I'm great at. And I mean, hey, it would be better to get 12 liters of water drunk in a year than none. I know I get water from other things like food and Coke Zero, but it'd be nice to actually give the body what the body needs in its purest form. So I'm gonna go fill up my water bottle and then we'll crack on. While I'm at it, I should take some of this stuff downstairs. Let's load it up. Does anybody else do that? They like try and load themselves up with like all of the stuff at once so that they don't need to do multiple trips. Like, it would just be easier and probably end up taking less time to do multiple trips, but I'm gonna load everything up and just struggle. There we go, I've got the goods, and we're off. We have the hydration unit, and now we can continue on. Now, as the bedroom is effectively done, well, I mean, I say it's effectively done. Normally, I would vacuum, but the vacuum is currently out of commission, so we're gonna move on to the office. Guys, it is... well, you'll see. Stuff on the floor, as per usual, and stuff on the desk, also as per usual, which I feel like this doesn't even do it justice of how bad it actually is. Like, even just looking at the desk, look at that. Ugh. In October, we had various instances where I had to get all of my pens out and take them to various places. I say have to, I chose to. I chose to get my pens out and take them to various places. And they never made it back to their home. So, the only way is through. Let's get into it. Doing my office tidy is the part that really makes it feel like it's the monthly reset, because it doesn't really get a lot of love and attention at other points in the month. I still don't have adequate office storage, so a lot of the reset here is me just putting things in different places or kind of like just moving the mess from one location to another. But at least it is out of my working space, which is the biggest thing that I needed from this. It's very hard to work when you've just got a mountain of stuff sitting beside you. A bit of a shorter and less thorough tidy today. As mentioned, vacuum cleaner's out of commission, so I couldn't vacuum. We have the typical pile of things that don't really belong here, so they need to go into various locations, bin, other rooms, etc. Our also typical pile of stuff that needs to be like decluttered and found a home for, but again, not today's problem. You're okay in the corner for now. The workable space on the desk though is looking much better, and that's really what I needed. And this stuff over here, part of it needs to be sent away, some of it needs to find its home, some of it's for a video, yeah, so to be done. The next part of the reset is going to be doing my laundry because I don't have any clean clothes. The nice part about having all black clothes is that you don't have to separate any of your colors. Well, I mean, technically speaking, you don't have to do that if you just don't care as well. First world solutions! So now we have 59 minutes to do other parts of the reset before we have to come back and put that in the dryer. That's pretty much most of the physical space stuff done, which means now it is time for the personal, me reset, which is good because I feel gross and I really just want to have a shower. Got my nice, and by nice I mean like nice but also just spare clothes to wear. Should be good. Gonna do our hair mask and face mask as per usual. Tiny haul video first though, because Vogel went and got me some nice stuff from Farmers, mainly because if you bought 2 items, you got this like free gift, but we'll look at that in a bit. Main thing was the stuff that we actually got, which was, for one, this body moisturizer, I think it is. Let's see. Turn around. Deep Comfort Body Lotion, because I actually don't have a body moisturizer that isn't like a cheap piece of shit. So this one hopefully will be nice because I like other Clinique products. And the other one we got was the 100-hour Moisture Surge Auto Replenishing Hydrator or whatever. It's another moisturizer, but this one's for my face and it's just lovely. But the main reason we bought it now is so that we could get the free gift, because these things are actually excellent. All right, I'm gonna have to undo this. Ta-da! Excellent. So in here we've got a bunch of like little goodies. So we have like a little Moisture Surge, so it's like the same as that, but it's tiny. We have a little Take Off the Day Cleansing Balm, a little liquid face wash, a little Moisture Surge overnight mask, a little moisturizing lotion, this one's for your face, and then a little mascara, and I guess like a regular sized lipstick. But the great part about these things is that they're actually just excellent for traveling. So it's like, instead of taking my whole big container of moisturizer, I just take these little ones, and they fit in my travel pouch really nicely. Plus the bag can be good to keep for like pencil cases and stuff, for short pens. Looking good. Now we just need to wait for this to be done and my hair to be done so we can rinse it off, so that I don't have to walk around looking like a mud man and stop getting grit in my mouth because it's exfoliating. Hopping out of the shower, we have skincare, followed by hair care, or like brushing my hair, I suppose. And then what I thought would be good to include in the monthly reset was flossing my teeth, because it doesn't really happen often enough, and at least if I do it as part of the monthly reset, it happens 12 times a year, just like the water thing. For now though, headband on, we gotta go do the digital space. For the digital reset, I like to start with what I consider to be the easy stuff, so inbox 0. Mainly easy because I've already looked at all the emails, so I vaguely know what they're about. I just have to sort out which ones I want to keep, where they need to go if I want to keep them, and which ones I need to get rid of. As the name suggests, ideally we're trying to get down to an empty inbox, so an inbox with 0 things in it. But all of the things that I would realistically have previously kept in my inbox, I just move into the to action folder. This is also a time where I'll use the opportunity to get rid of any folders that I don't need anymore. So for instance, my Melbourne folder, I don't need that one anymore, I can get rid of that one. And if there are any emails that I can make a quick response to, I respond to those as well. The next place to tackle in the digital reset is what I call my folder entropy. So this is any disorder or clutteredness that my folders have accumulated across the last month. The primary focus here is my desktop and my downloads folder, because those are the 2 that really see the most entropy forming. But I'll also have a quick look over my other folders too, just to see if there's anything that needs to be consolidated, deleted, moved, etc. Inbox 0 and tidying up my folders is finished, but now we're on to the financial reset, so like doing my budgeting, which I am incredibly not looking forward to because it has literally been a month since I last did this. Like, I haven't filled in my budget since our last reset. It's one of those things that I knew it was going to be an intense task, so I kind of just put it off, which made it more intense, which meant I put it off, and yada yada yada. Kind of like a snowball effect of suckiness. A snuck ball. A sucky snowball. But better get started on it so we can get finished with it. As could be expected, the budgeting took ages, but this is mainly because it was just a lot to do, rather than it being a difficult task. Really all I had to do was download all of my bank statements for our various accounts, go through them all, and then format them to fit with our finance tracker. This is a tracker that I actually sell in my store, so if you wanted to grab one for yourself, it is a super handy way to keep track of your finances. That one's linked in the description box below. Now as I've actually gone and put all of those into my finance tracker though, we can go through each of the spending categories individually and see how they compared or lined up with previous months. Disclaimers, of course, Vogel and I share incomes. Disclaimers, of course, these are in New Zealand dollars. Vogel and I share incomes. Our situation may be different to yours, so, take the numbers with that in mind. And I will say that I already know that October was a big spending month. So having a look at the numbers, you can see that our total spending for September was about $11,300, and as can be expected, October was bigger than that, given the fact that I told you it was a big spend month. But going through each of those categories, should we start with the wins, or should we start with the maybe spent a little more than I should have? Let's just work through them in order, might be easier. So the first one we have is groceries. That one actually came in under what we spent last month and is actually our lowest since July, which is pretty good. So that was $753-ish. That's not unexpected though, because there was a week that I was away and we did a fair bit of eating out. For home and household, this one was much bigger than our previous months, so almost $7,000, and that's mainly because we bought a new bed and we also did a crap ton of gardening. So a lot of kind of expensive things related to that, and then the bed itself was a very large expense, so that's not unexpected, but I do hope to not spend that much in this category for the rest of the year. For fuel, this one was lower than last month, so $240 almost, but that's because we were doing a lot of back and forth between here and town, so that did push the total up compared to, say, August. Our expected bill total is actually the lowest that it's been for the past 4 months, which is interesting and makes me question why it is that low. I feel like there should be another charge in there possibly. Let's go check. No, actually having a look over it, that is correct. So all goods on that one. Yay for less spending in that area. Though I am aware that our rates bill is coming in next month, so that one will probably be higher in November. For unexpected bills, this one shot up quite a lot. And now I question why that one is as high as it is. Yes, we had to buy new tires for the car. So I don't know, I don't think that should be in unexpected bills. I think that should be in transport. So I'm actually gonna change that. There we go, that one goes down. Nice, better. So a much more reasonable amount of $82-ish. This is why we do the budget review, to check for these kind of things. Our personal and well-being category did go up, and that's because we had things like medications, expensive skincare. I like my skincare products, and they're expensive. I don't have to buy them very often because they do last a hot minute, but you know, I like the expensive stuff. Plus, in buying it, as we talked about, I got a free gift. So, I mean win, but I do hope that that category does not get quite as high in the next 2 months. For food out, I am surprised to say that it was way less than usual because I thought we did quite a lot of food out. Actually, now as I think about it, it's because Mum paid for a lot of them, so thank you, Mum. Whoops. That makes a lot more sense. For entertainment, this one is lower than we've had in the past couple of months, so $233. This was actually from a very small set of charges, so things like subscriptions, Spotify, Disney+, Netflix, but then Vogel bought himself a computer part of some description, and that bumped the price up a bit. Then we have transport, which has that increased amount because we bought new tires for the car, which was not cheap. And then we've got a new category, which is travel, which I haven't included previously, but we were buying flights and stuff, and I just didn't want to put them in transport because I felt like they were something different. And then I also didn't know where to put in charges like Airbnbs and hotels and stuff like that. So I've made a separate category called travel, and that one was steep this month, coming in at almost $6,200 because we bought our flights to America. So things to look forward to, but not cheap things to look forward to. Our next category has started to increase, and that's probably because we're getting into the more festive season, and that one is gifts, coming in at about $380. I do expect that one to be fairly similar in November, hopefully not as much in December, just as I start buying Christmas gifts properly, but we'll have to wait and see. That meant that our total cost for October, well, it wasn't double September, but it was close. Off by about $1,000, but still. Now as the financial reset and the budget reflection are done though, we have my planner reset, which is always my favorite part. This one's gonna be a little bit different though, because I'm not actually using this planner for November, but we're gonna start in here and then move forward. The planner reset is very much about checking off the pages of my current setup and then populating the pages of my next monthly setup. I was planning on doing this one a little bit differently today, so actually starting with my goals, so action plan and that kind of thing, and working through that stuff first, but because I'm moving from a physical planner to a digital planner, just for the month of November, I'm probably just gonna do all of the physical stuff first and then all of the digital stuff. So we'll work through in order. In terms of my projects list, I don't have anything to check off here. I can check that one off maybe. But other than that, everything is up to date, so that's all good. Vlogs, need to get back to those. In terms of the monthly log, we can tick off some of the things that have been happening. I have a dot here, I don't remember what it was for at all. The hangout is good, we did that one, we went to Melbourne, we came back, we had Dad's birthday. I could go and add things to the calendar, but I'm not feeling it. Like, I loved this setup. Like, don't get me wrong, this setup was gorgeous. But I have found it very difficult to keep up with in terms of use, especially while I was away, and the little bit before I was away because I was like celebrating my birthday, that's what that is, and then getting ready to go away. So, this was my birthday crafting day. Can't remember what this dot was for though, but we do have book club coming up, which is exciting. We've got some stuff happening this week, but that's yet to happen, don't need to check that off. I don't think I can actually check anything off on here. The weekly resets, again, I haven't been using my planner, so I haven't really gotten in to do these things. We still have time for this week though, so I'll leave that one open. For the weekly reviews, I did at least do the first week. So that one happened here, as you can see. But then the week after that, I don't remember doing it. Oh, okay, I did, yay. So that one did, but then the next one, I know, did not. So we can check off that third week did not happen, but the second week did. Completing a 101 things task. Did I do a 101 things task last week? I honestly can't remember, so I'm gonna have to go check. There we go, I thought it was on the list. Spend Dad's birthday with him, I certainly did do. So we can say that complete a 101 thing did happen. Review content plans certainly did happen, and it's already happened this week, so I can check that one off. I don't think I've completed a 101 thing this week yet, and the weekly review notably has not happened because it's not the end of the week yet. These daily actions I've been keeping track of on my habit tracker, but haven't actually been doing great with filling that one in either. Like, this week was fine. This week was okay up until like Saturday, Sunday. And then if we go to the current week, is this the current week? No, the week before the current week. Yeah, fell away on that one and haven't even filled in my habits for our current week. Time to do some reviewing though. As I have a border on the page and a larger decorative section at the bottom, I don't have quite as much space this month for my review compared to last month, but I still wanted to at the very least put in my wins, challenges, and notes section. While I do fill out the wins and the challenges sections in the video, I'm going to leave the notes section till a little bit later. This one's going to be more of a journaling space and will probably be a little bit more personal, so didn't really feel like I needed to put that one on camera. For the month we had some wins being time with family, taking the trip to Melbourne, launching my Notion bundle, that kind of stuff. And then some of the challenges were things like feeling like I'm overspending. I know it was just a month where we had a lot of big ticket items that we were buying, but I want to be mindful moving into the holiday period that I don't want to spend more than my means. Yes. And then just the general things, motivation, time management, that kind of stuff. As mentioned, I don't have my monthly setup for November in this notebook, so we're gonna have to jump back onto the computer to see my digital setup. So here we have my digital bullet journal, which is another thing that's available in my shop if you wanted to buy your own. But you can see the currently section has October, the current week, October actions list. What we want to do is scroll down here to November and get into the monthly setup for November. So things to tweak here. The Patreon list is fine because that one's pre-set up, so it's the same every month, but we do need to populate my vlog channel and my main channel in terms of their video content. So this one is very much just going to be all of the vlogs that I still have to catch up on. So week 37, 38, 39. In November, we're also going to be getting up to, I think, at least week 47. So there's going to be quite a lot. We may also have some other vlogs coming out, but we're going to have to wait and see if I actually get on to editing them. Fingers crossed. In terms of the main channel though, I'm not going to populate those just yet. I will put in the December plan with me because you guys know that it's coming. So that one's fine to add in. But everything else, don't want to spoil the surprise. So I'm going to fill that one in later. What I do have to go and populate though would be my future log, or effectively what's like my monthly log because it's on this page. So you can see I've jotted down Boudreaux Wednesday for all of the Wednesdays in November. That one's fine, but I do need to go and put in other things as well. So when am I doing my live stream and when am I doing my hangout? So having a look at the Discord, we actually have a few different events coming up in the month ahead, which is exciting. So we have a community hangout on the Sunday. And we've actually got another one happening on the Monday as well, because I like to do them in two parts, just different time zones, that kind of thing. We also have our 12-hour live stream, happening on the Sunday. That one's linked in the description box as well, and I hope you guys can make it along because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try and set up a full bullet journal in 12 hours. And we also, on the 13th, have the patron hangout, which is always a good time. It's just a really lovely bunch of people to hang out with. Other things that are coming up, we have a Halloween, or kind of like a belated Halloween gathering. I'm trying to think of what else is happening in November, and I'm kind of drawing a blank. Oh yeah, we have the Go Green Expo. Excellent. I could technically go in and put tags on these to say what type of event they are, but I'm just gonna leave them. I know what they are enough to be able to just look at the calendar and be like, oh look, a birthday or whatever. Not that I have any birthdays listed in here, but you get the idea. And I think that one looks good for now, so what I also need to do is go and add into my actions list, the actions that I want to take in terms of goals, and I also need to go and update my weekly log so that it has my habits preloaded, but I think the actions list is going to happen first, because my daily actions on there dictate what I put on my habit tracker. For the actions that I had on my monthly log for October, I'm just going to move all of those across into November because I haven't done any of those monthly actions, and then I will review the weekly ones because I might want to do some tweaking. I spoke too soon. I actually do have one to tick off. It was the end of year project list that I did actually complete. I feel like the task of get ahead on content for December for JashiiCorrin versus JashiiCorrin vlogs probably needs to be broken down a bit more, but I'm gonna leave it for now. I think it needs a little bit more thought, but I know the general goal is to get ahead on the December content because that is going to be a lot. For the weekly actions, I only have to type them in the first list and then I can copy them to each of the other weeks. I also think I want to make this wider because I like the idea of all of those checkpoints being on a single line rather than going one under the other or like wrapping the text. So that gives me just a little bit more space to work with. I actually think that the list that I had for this month is going to be just fine for the month ahead. I don't think there's anything else in particular that I want to add right now. It might also be that I'm not super in the mood to think about my goals hardcore right now, and I know that the plans that I set in place for October are still aligned with what I want, so I'm happy to keep those actions as they are. For daily actions, intentional leisure, I'm probably going to not track actually for November, just because I don't want to feel bad about myself when I'm kind of like in the hustle of it all and not necessarily making time to do an intentional leisure thing. As long as I'm taking some time off, whether that just be like real chill or something that's intentional, that's fine. So maybe we'll just put it in as leisure. I don't think I actually need to track scheduling and posting content, so I'm not going to put that one in. I do possibly want to put in time blocking my calendar though, because that one I know is really helpful, and if I can get into more of a habit of doing it, it's going to pay off. And I'm also going to use my journal in here because that's something I really fell off with this month and it cost me. So that is going to be one of the habits that I want to track. These ones are going to go over onto my habit tracker for each of the weekly setups, so we need to jump back to the full November monthly, and then hovering over this new weekly log thing, I need to press on the cog so that I can actually change the habit tracker in that to align with the habits that I want to track. So we go here to the weekly log date to date, because this is the template and I can make my changes on here. So scrolling down, habit tracker, intentional leisure, I don't want it to be intentional, I just need it to be leisure. In terms of water, I'm not going to track my water, I don't feel like that is the season of life that I'm in right now. But what I did want to track was time blocking and using my journal, even though my journal is digital. We're also going to track my AM medication, and we're going to track my PM medication. We need a checkbox for that. And we're also going to want to track my multivitamin. That is the template though. We actually need to set up for like a week. So if we get rid of this one, just because that was an example one that I'm not actually using, and now we can just press on the new weekly log and it will bring us to a new weekly log that we can actually use for, what's the day going to be? The 31st of October to the 6th, I believe, of November. That looks good, and it's going to be week 44, I think. Nice. Feeling ready to tackle the month ahead? If you are looking to make your own monthly reset checklist, then the video at the top has some helpful ideas for you. Or if you wanted to watch some of our previous resets, then the playlist at the bottom is where it's at. I'll see you over there.